Welcome to Uniquely Loved, a celebration of divine inspiration. I'm your host, Nikki Jones, owner of Healing Craft Coaching. Now, today's episode is going to be all about how we communicate with our deities and spirits, because there are so many new people exploring their path, exploring their magic, and wondering, well, do I have to pray for, the gods to hear me? Short answer is no. Now, if you want a rigid structure, like scheduling, like you pray certain times or you talk to them at certain times, if that's what you want, go for it. Okay, but prayer, it can take on many different forms. It all depends on your definition for that and how we communicate with our deities, ancestors, etc. All depends on the type of relationship we want with them. Okay. There's a whole lot of people deconstructing, coming out of the monotheistic faiths and trying to just explore all of their options. And we can, and it's highly encouraged to make our relationship with those whom we want to cultivate a relationship with fit not only our lifestyle, but our heart, exactly what we need, what we want. And it's not to make it all about us by any means, but it's to make it a relationship that we're comfortable with because we don't need formality unless that's what we're comfortable with. There are people who love to do ceremonial magic and it's structured, it's rigid. And then there's a lot of us who really, really rebel against structure and rigidity. We want more fluid, and that's okay. It's highly encouraged. We get to make our practice exactly what we want and need out of it. And you can literally just be like, hey, insert deity's name here or spirit's name. Like, I'm having a really tough time. I could really use some insight. Or, hey, I got this really cool thing that happened. Thanks. And it can be that simple. And you don't have to do it out loud. I know when I first started, I felt really weird just being in my room, be like, hey, Hekate, I don't know if you can hear me, and verbalizing it using my voice. I was really self-conscious and for some reason really freaking nervous, even though I wasn't being judged. I was worried about perhaps her or anyone else on my spiritual team judging me. That is not something we need to worry about. Um, our spiritual team loves us unconditionally in all of our emotions, all of our states, and they're always rooting for us. So we can actually, set aside that self-consciousness. It can be difficult, but reminding ourselves that how we communicate with them in the moment is just as good as doing something with a candle or, a seance type setting or in front of an altar or in nature. You can talk to them while you're driving. I was mopping the floors earlier, doing some early spring cleaning, and I was just chatting in my head because telepathy still works. Um, most people, in the churches and stuff pray, silent, eyes closed and everything. You don't have to do that unless you want to, unless you feel called to do so. You can chat with them as if they're your friends, as if they're, beloved family members. That's encouraged. That's even celebrated because oftentimes we're breaking free from super rigid, you got to do it this way or else. Because that's all fear-based. That's all my way or the highway bullshit thinking. Coercion? Mm-mm. Freedom. Freedom is the goal. And freedom of expression also includes talking to our entire spiritual team, talking to our higher self. So find what fits you and what works or what feels right one moment may not for the next. That's okay. That's normal. I mean, when you talk to a friend or a loved one, is it always about the same topic? Is it always in the same setting? No, it doesn't have to be that way when talking with any of our spiritual team. And even just little tiny moments of, hey, thanks, y'all, or um, just like, hey, I could use some inspiration. What spice are we feeling? What snack are we feeling? Because I give them offerings all the time, and sometimes I'll get cravings for certain things, and I know it's like, hey, this would be cool. And I know it's not just me because I'll feel it in the energy around me, but I'm really sensitive to the energies shifting around me as well. And when we do talk to them, look for little signs and synchronicities. You can even ask for specific ones to get that warm and fuzzy feeling of, yes, I am heard, you know? So you can ask to go see, like, hey, send me like a blue butterfly, just as a little sign. But then you have to be open to actually seeing that sign. So, if you're an introvert who doesn't really go outside, you're more than likely going to see that on the socials or, a drawing or something as opposed to seeing, a blue butterfly outside. And that's okay. It still works because that is a sign, that is a synchronicity. Um, and the more we pay attention to any of that, any communication or any feedback, the more we recognize it, the easier it becomes to be like, you know what, I am heard, so I can keep talking to them. That is the biggest reason in my mind to open up the lines of communication because it builds a relationship with them. It helps us realize, hey, we're not alone. We are heard because oftentimes we don't feel that way in life, but we are, especially by our spiritual team, by our ancestors, by nature. So go out and explore the different ways that you can build a relationship with your spiritual team in a way that fits you, that feels right for you, that feels comfortable. It may not feel comfortable at first because we're breaking free from old patterns, old structures, old conditioning, but you will find your groove. You will find what works for you, and feel free to modify it as you need to, as you want to. Experiment and make it fun. I will sing a song and just set the intention that it's for, Hecate or any other member of my spiritual team, kind of like dedicating the energy that I'm feeling from that tune to them. That is a method of communication to them, and it works. So just play around with it and make it yours, and be open to any kind of feedback, feeling, sensing, perceiving of any kind, um, little signs and synchronicities. Be like, ah, yeah. Just try to enjoy it because communication, it can be difficult in so many different ways. And anytime we make it not difficult, we make it easy, we make it more not just fun, but lighthearted or easy breezy with any of our spiritual team, it actually opens up our receptivity for those signs and synchronicities as well. So play around and have fun with it. Thank you for watching or listening, depending on how you're experiencing this podcast. I love you. I support you. Always remember, you are accepted, you are valid, and you are loved.